you, Chair. My name is Jonathan Daka, Member of Parliament for Chadiza constituency in Eastern Province, and also a member of this committee.
Good morning. My name is Kalalo Mkosa, Member of Parliament for Chinsali. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Controlling Officer and your team. My name is Alikando Mufalali, nominated Member of Parliament and Member of the Public Accounts Committee.
Controlling Officer, I'm Lomai Victor. I represent the people of Chafuma constituency, Northwestern Province.
Thank you. Auditor General's Office, you can proceed.
Good morning, Controlling Officer and your team. I'm Emmanuel Tembo, representing the Auditor General, and I'm accompanied by Mr. Alitia Mulala, Senior Auditor, Anson Mwetwa, Senior Auditor, and Simon Nyama, Senior Auditor. Thank you.
Thank you. Accountant General's Office, Controller, and then PEMEC, you can proceed.
Good morning, PS and your team. My name is Esther Nakazwe. I'm sitting in for the Accountant General. Thank you.
Good morning, PS. My name is Gift Murubwa, representing the Controller of Internal Audit.
Morning, PS. My name is Aluwani Soko. I'm Director Human Resource Information and Planning, representing the PSMD. I'm with Mr. Mupatwa Msopelo, Assistant Director, PEMEC.
Thank you, Parliamentary Clerk.
Morning, PS. My name is Chitalu Mlenga from the Office of the Clerk. I've been accompanied by Ms. Betha Masaiti and Tiloleko Lungu. Thank you.
Media. Thank you, PS. I'm Warren Chishamwambazi, Member of Parliament for Bwanamkubwa constituency from Ndola District, and I'm the chairperson of this committee. PS, I'll ask you to proceed and make introduction of your team. Thank you.
Good morning, Chairperson of the Parliamentary Audit Committee and dignified members. I am Lillian Musonda Kapsana Michelo. I'm the Permanent Secretary in the Office of the Vice President. Chairperson, I've not come alone. I've come with a team from the dissolved Ministry of National Guidance and Religious Affairs, as well as OVP. So with your permission, Chair, allow me to ask them to introduce themselves.
Thank you. They can proceed.
Good morning. My name is Emily Mkumbwa Kauseni. I'm the Director of Human Resource and Administration in the Office of the Vice President. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Bernadette Mwaka Chair, the Director for Small and Medium Enterprise Development, previously in the Ministry of National Guidance and Religious Affairs.
Good morning, Chair. I'm Harriet Kawina, former Acting Director, Human Resource and Administration in the Ministry of National Guidance and Religious Affairs.
Good morning, Chair and committee members. My name is Tobias Chomba. I'm Director, Human Resource at PSMD currently, but I served at National Guidance as Director HRIA from October 2020 to April 2021. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. I'll ask you to go and dress properly or appropriately for the committee. You need to have a tie as you come before this committee. So you will excuse us for now. Thank you. Next, you can proceed.
Good morning. My name is Sandra Nakula Kawana. I'm Acting Director Specialized Audit with the Ministry of Finance. I was Chief Internal Auditor, Ministry of National Guidance and Religious Affairs for the period 2020 to 2021.
Thank you. Next.
Morning, Chair. My name is Christopher Daka. I'm an accountant under OVP.
Good morning, Chair. I'm Katongola Ben Mwansa, Chief Accountant.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Alevi Mwanza, Director of Finance, currently in the Ministry of Youth, Sport and Arts. I was with the Ministry of National Guidance from 2020 May to end of 2021. I submit.
Thank you. I think we're done. Thank you so much, PS. Let me take this opportunity to confer you with immunity in accordance with Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia, which gives you immunity as you make submission before this honorable committee. That is also already in line with Standing Order number 175, which ensures that you follow the deliberations as guided by the chairperson of the committee, who's myself. I'll ask you to proceed and make your submission. You read the query as it appears in the Auditor General's report, an amount where applicable, and the mitigation measures you are taking as a ministry. With that said, let me ask you to proceed.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'm reading the report of the Auditor General on the audit of the government payroll for the financial year ending 31 December 2017 to 2021, Head 32, Ministry of National Guidance and Religious Affairs. The Ministry of National Guidance and Religious Affairs in question operated as a government arm to implement the constitutional mandate of inculcating the national values and principles in all the Zambian people, as well as spearheading the realization of Zambia as a Christian nation. The ministry was established after the Amendment Act of 2016 of the Constitution of the Republic of Zambia through Gazette Notice number 836 of 2016, volume L11, number 76, and dissolved in September 2021, and the process of dissolution ran up to December 2021. Upon dissolution, the Ministry of National Guidance and Religious Affairs was transferred to Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development. Additionally, that department and the functions of National Guidance and Religious Affairs were transferred to Office of the Vice President through Gazette Notice 1123 of 2021. The dissolved Ministry of National Guidance and Religious Affairs had an acting permanent secretary in dissolution who was appointed to manage the closure of the ministry of the government, by the government. Consequently, all queries raised were to be resolved and closed by the management team within the period of dissolution. A review of the payroll system. Financial and other records relating to the payroll management at Ministry of National Guidance and Religious Affairs for the period from January 2017 to December 2021 revealed some queries and the following are management responses. Query A, Chair. Budget and funding. In the estimates of revenue and expenditure for the financial years ended 31st December of 2017 to 2021, a total provision of 37,633,177 was made to cater for personal emoluments under the Ministry of National Guidance and Religious Affairs, against which amounts totaling 40,996,662 were released and spent. See Table 1 below. Management responses. Management agrees with the auditor's observations. However, the ministry had a budget of 7,352,465 for personal emoluments in 2017. In this regard, the total budget for the ministry for the financial years ended 31st December 2017 to 2021 was 44,985,642 as indicated in the table below. A page of the 2017 Yellow Book has been attached as Appendix 1. B. Unauthorized salary inputs. Each ministry, province, and agency and peer on payroll management establishment control PEMIC had 2 authorized end users who were carrying out payroll inputs. One end user was appointed from the Department of Human Resource, whilst the other was from Finance. The PEMIC system was configured in such a way that end users from one MPA could not input transactions from another MPA. In the case of super users, they were authorized to perform inputs for MPAs such as departmental transfers upon approved written requests for transactions which end users in a particular institution had challenges on. Further, Treasury and Financial Management Circular Number 6 of 2019, Section 3.5V states that the controlling officers are responsible for appointment of payroll end users in their respective institutions. Contrary to the circular, 103 input transactions were performed on the ministry's payroll by 10 PEMIC end users who were in different payroll sub-areas, ministries, or jurisdictions. Further, no support documents to authorize the end users to capture inputs outside their payroll areas or jurisdiction were availed for audit as at 31st July 2022. Chairman, management responses. Management accepts the observations made by the Auditor General. 10 super users under PEMIC performed transactions on the ministry's payroll during the period under review with the conviction that the ministry's requests made to PEMIC was authority for the super users to perform the transactions. These are in-out transactions performed only by super users at PEMIC. However, 70 transactions conducted on the payroll by the super users in 2018 at PEMIC were as a result of the routine data maintenance on the payroll by PEMIC. The transfers did not involve movements of the 70 employees as seen in the payroll extract attached in Appendix 2. The business area code for the ministry was being corrected to G032 instead of G106. Attached at Appendix 2 is a letter requesting Public Service Management Division PEMIC to provide documentation of the 70 transactions and the remaining 13 inputs. Cause of query. Lack of documentations regarding the 103 input transactions which were performed on the ministry's payroll by 10 PEMIC end users who were in the different payroll sub-areas, ministries, or jurisdictions. Cause the query. Action taken, remedial measures. The Department on Human Resources have managed to retrieve 20 inputs out of the 33 inputs in question, and in addition, a letter to PSMD PEMIC has been written to provide documentation of the 13. Attached are the duly signed minutes submitting payroll inputs to Public Service Management Division, PEMIC Appendix 2. C. Failure to perform monthly reconciliations. Treasury and Financial Management Circular Number 9 of 2020 states that the controlling officer should ensure that a reconciliation between the staff establishment register and staff assignment and reconciliation of staff assignment to staff are done monthly. Contrary to Circular Number 9 of 2020, the ministry had not prepared any reconciliation between the staff assignment and staff establishment and between payroll and the monthly staff returns. This resulted in over-recruitment and failure to monitor recruitment, or additions on the payroll. Management response. Management accepts the observations made by the Auditor General. The Ministry did not undertake the reconciliation between the staff assignment and staff retains and between payroll and the monthly staff retains during the period under review. Cause of the query. The Departments of Human Resources and Administration did not submit evidence of the reconciliation between the staff assignment and staff establishment and between payroll and the monthly staff returns. Action taken, remedial measures. The Department of Human Resources and Administration has managed to retrieve only staff returns for the months of June to November 2020 and the months of January to September 2021. In addition, the department has managed to retrieve the payroll reconciliation report for December 2020, attached at Appendix 3. Chair, I wish to inform the committee that the two directors, Human Resource and Administration, who were in charge during the period under review have since been charged and attached are charge letters at Appendix 3. The Ministry did not experience any overemployment as all recruitments were done in line with Treasury authorities that were granted during the period under review. Attached are copies of Treasury authorities, number 16 of 2017, number 27 of 2018, number 2 of 2021, and staff establishment, Appendix 3 as refers. D. Misplacement of payroll area. Cabinet Office Circular number 13 of 2019 requires that controlling officers should ensure that all employees under their respective ministries, provinces, and agencies are placed in their duty station as directed by the Service Commission or responsible officer, and that any employee who shall not be at their duty station by 30th September 2019 should be removed from the payroll. Contrary to Circular number 13 of 2019, during the period under review, 9 officers who were not physically stationed at the ministry were paid salaries in amounts totaling 85,465 from the ministry payroll. As at 31st July 2022, the anomalies had not been corrected. Management response. Management accepts the observations made by the Auditor General. We wish to notify the committee that Ministry of National Guidance and Religious Affairs was abolished in September 2021, and the process of dissolution ran up to December 2021. The ministry payroll was transferred to Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development. The committee may wish to know that all the officers except 2 officers, as illustrated in Appendix 4, were stationed at the ministry. The 2 officers are Mr. Prince Chinyante, Registry Clerk, was transferred to the Ministry of General Education in 2020. However, the payroll pay point changed in July 2021 due to the delay in chain transfers from their ministries. Ms. Sylvia Mukuyangwa, Head Procurement and Supplies, was transferred to the Ministry of Defense in 2020. However, the payroll pay point only changed in February 2021 due to the delay in chain transfers from other ministries. Attached are the payslips, transfer letters, and advice arrival form, Appendix 4. Cause of the query? The delay in the movement of the payroll area. Action taken, remedial measures. The management at Office of the Vice President will ensure to engage the managers of the payroll to resolve all the issues that affect the payroll changes and have charged the Director, Human Resource Administration during the period, Appendix 4. E. introductions and termination of employees without authority. Section 12A of the Public Service Terms and Conditions of Service requires an officer on appointment to the public service to submit to the responsible officer Arrival Advice Form H1 as confirmation of arrival at duty station. The submitted forms are then used to introduce that officer on the payroll with effect from the date of arrival. 67 employees were introduced on the payroll through transfers from other ministries of first appointment, and 27 employees were terminated through transfers or resignations from the payroll for various reasons. However, there were no documentation to such appointment letters, arrival advice forms, or transfer letters to support the introductions and terminations from the payroll were availed for verification. Chair, management response. Management accepts the observations made by the Auditor General. The documentation for the 66 employees who were introduced on the payroll through transfers from their ministries are as follows: Appendix 5. 35 were with transfer appointment letters with arrival advice forms. 29 had transfer appointment letters but without arrival advice forms. 3 officers as super scale officers who were introduced on payroll after September 2021. The documentations for the 27 employees who were terminated from the ministry payroll through transfers or resignations from the payroll are attached as Appendix 6. Cause of the query. The query arose because of the limited access to records as a result of the Ministry of National Guidance and Religious Affairs being dissolved in December 2021 and officers transferred at the time of the verifications. Action taken and remedial measures. The acting permanent secretary in dissolution has been charged accordingly for failure to provide supporting documents during the audit and the verification. Attached is the charge letter at Appendix 6. Conclusion. Chair, the Office of the Vice President appreciates the observations made by the Auditor General's report and has worked to rectify the situation. I submit, Chairperson.
Thank you, PS. Honorable colleagues, that's a submission from our Permanent Secretary from the Office of the Vice President. PS, you can switch off the mic. Honorable colleagues, you can proceed to ask questions. Honorable Lumai.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Controlling Officer, for that wonderful submission, which is straight to the point. However, Mr. Chairman, while the answers are straight to the point, I think you also have questions straight to the point. It is worth noting, Mr. Chairman, that yes, the ministry, we are discussing a ministry which is in dissolution, but however, Chair, in the same discussion, the controlling officer will need to learn something of what had transpired going forward. Chair, I have a query on B. I just want the PS to help us, just a straight answer to understand the 13 transactions which you have requested for documentations, whether they were authorized by you. You have written to PEMIC for 13 inputs. I just want to understand whether these were authorized by someone, or is it an issue of failing to keep documentation, which has ended as failing to trace this documentation? Why are we writing?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable Lumai, honorable colleagues, any question? Honorable Mfarari, PS, you can switch off your mic.
Chair, it's just an observation. On the responses that have come from the ministry in dissolution, these responses refer to or give a reflection of things that were done after the audit, meaning they have not been verified by the Auditor General. So for us to go in detail to understand really whether the answers that are being given are factual and are actually in line with the appendices, we just need the Auditor General to verify this. Then after the verification, then we can move. Otherwise, it looks like they're not verified. Unless otherwise, maybe the Auditor General could guide if they verified these as they have been submitted.
Auditor General, maybe before you come in, Honorable Daka.
Chair, just a ride on Honorable Mpalale's observation. Even the letter that the controlling officer has referred to having used to charge the officers for failing to obey instructions, Chair, they were only written on 1st March 2023. So I wonder how we can proceed to deliberate on matters that were done, like that looks like it's an afterthought or just reactive in nature. Chairperson, I submit.
Thank you, Auditor General.
Thank you, Chair. Indeed, the observations, I think, as made by the honorables is true. However, we need to also perhaps understand that we have a unique case of where there was that dissolution and then who was responsible at first to respond. So there was that maybe time frame. And as per procedure, I think we are only seeing this now. So we needed to be guided that yes, these were not verified. I don't know. It's a decision which I think the committee can make.
Thank you, Honorable Lumai. Then I can.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since there is a serious concern from the honorable members, which have also realized that a lot of information was not verified, and as a practice of this committee, we only handle issues which have been verified by the Office of the Auditor General, because apart from Auditor General, there's nothing we can handle as a committee. So, Mr. Chair, I would like to withdraw my first question since the information was not verified. I submit, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much, honorable colleagues. I was just trying to also talk to the Auditor General. Yes, some information merely like reactive or have not been verified by Auditor General. So direct that the Office of the Auditor General does a verification to that effect. Then they can give us a status report. Then we can relook at some of these matters, or whatever the committee will agree or do recommendation to that effect, looking at this ministry in dissolution. So I think controlling officer, we are very grateful for coming before. Yes.
Maybe the only other issues that could be questioned are in relation to some of the decisions that were made. I think Honorable Daka talked about a letter of discipline which has been attached here as a remedial measure because of the why the director, the acting PS. Chair, maybe is the acting PS here? She's here. Chair, I find this letter to be irregular. I don't know who appointed the acting PS? Was it the office of the Vice President and the PS seated here? Or it was SC or someone else sitting at cabinet? Who appointed this lady who you have now said you have disciplined as Vice President? I don't know under which, because it's irregular as far as I'm concerned, Chair. The person who appointed should be the one to take charge, because this was a ministry in dissolution, and at the time of dissolution, the person acting was actually the PS, despite her acting in there. So the person who should have dealt with this matter should be someone higher than the PS. I don't know who appointed this lady.
Thank you, Honorable Mfarari. Before Honorable Nakoka just comes in, let's adjourn just for 5 minutes. Yeah, just 5 minutes, and we'll call back our witness. PS have lifted the immunity. You just give us 5 minutes, we'll call you back.
Dad, a lot has been said about me. I've been demonized, I've been ridiculed and called names by people who have no idea what kind of a person I am. But now, the time has come for me to prove what a powerhouse I am. I want to prove that I'm human too, that I have feelings, and I have people who care for me just as I care for them. It's time for me to bear it all. Matale Mwanza Unscripted, coming soon.
Stay connected and catch the first 3 races of the 2023 Formula One season on Compact Plus.
My full names are Emmanuel Banda. I was born in 1978 on 10th of July in the University Teaching Hospital just here in Lusaka. And at the age of 7 years, my parents relocated to the village which is in Eastern Province. By then it used to be Petauke district, now Sinda. I come from Chiefness Nyanje area of Sinda district, and both my parents are from the same chiefdom. So I started school in 1984 at Mtema Primary School, just next to Nyanje Hospital. And then I went to Katema Primary School, where I did my primary education up to 1991, when I wrote my grade 7 exams, and then went back to Nyanje Basic School by then for grade 8, and I had to be transferred, or rather I requested for a transfer to go to Chasa Basic School, where I did my grade 9 and I wrote the exam. 1994 I was selected to go for grade 10 at Petauke Secondary School, and that's where I basically did my senior level education up to 96 when I wrote my grade 12 exams. In 1997 I came to Lusaka to look for something that I could do, and I was unfortunate that I couldn't manage to either pursue my education further, and I ended up being a minibus conductor, and I was a minibus conductor to say from 1997, 98, 99 and 2000 probably. I